look to 2020, although that's 4 years away. Who's going to run in 2020? I'm not convinced. Well, there's a lot of people keeping their, let's put it this way. There's a lot of people keeping their options open. And at this was a University of Pennsylvania. What was this? Like just some type of weird forum. For whatever reason, in the middle of this interview, right, with Joe Biden, apparently he gets up. And this is what Joe Biden had to say. Total Bernie bro in it right here, right?
Oh, yeah, complete Bernie. Well, and also I would say incredibly misogynist.
Here we go. Here is Joe Biden. Now, of course, there's the backstory to this, but let's hear what Joe Biden had to say.
This is the first campaign that I can recall where my party did not talk about what it always stood for, and that is how to maintain a burgeoning middle class. You didn't hear a single solitary sentence in the last campaign about that guy working on the assembly line making $60,000 a year and the wife making $32,000 as a hostess in a restaurant, and they making 90 grand. They got 2 kids and they can't make it, and they're scared.
I mean, I think, there certainly wasn't the amount of populism in this campaign that, and I think we've said that. It's interesting that Joe Biden is making this point in this forum, walking back and forth. Now, you should also recall that if those Joe Biden wasn't particularly good on things like the bankruptcy bill.
Yeah, I was going to say that Joe Biden,
that family,
yeah.
They could be suffering from a financial calamity, and they'd be in trouble because of Joe Biden, back when he was in the Senate. So, this guy's politics, let me put it this way. His policies, not terribly different from Hillary Clinton's. Maybe
They're
different on foreign policy.
More progressive in some ways, but he has a longer
His
record.
Rhetoric. More so.
Now,
he
but
also
partially
had
he's had an opportunity to help end apartheid because he's just been in the Senate for decades. So he has some more marks, but yeah, I mean, overall, very similar political profile.
And, also big fan of Amtrak, I guess. He's got
big fan of Amtrak. Also, definitely, undoubtedly, without any flicker of doubt, would have won and should have run. I mean, just as purely politically, he was an obvious candidate.
Well, it's not obvious to me at all that he would have won in the primary.
I think he would have won the primary, and I think he would have absolutely won the general. Primary would have been a lot harder. I think the general is a foregone with him in any scenario.
Very unclear to me what would happen in the primary. But yes.
I'd just like to mention that would be an extremely well-paid hostess job.
32 grand. Yeah.
I just did the math, and as I mean, sometimes when politicians talk about money, you're just like, what planet are you living on? You just can't even imagine what the actual numbers look like for people who are even middle class, because you have so much more money than that. But he's close, but he's still overshooting it by a lot, which says a lot. I mean, people, they need to really actually know what people make.
Yeah, I think that's true. Wasn't that thing, there was a debate at St. Anselm's College, and maybe I don't know if it was maybe it was in the 2012 cycle, and there was one of the
milk
moderators.
Question, how much does a quart of milk cost or something like that? No.
And they said, what if someone was making only a professor's salary? And it was like, wait, a professor's salary is like $120,000.
That's incredible.
Or something like that. There was some just way off. This is by one of the moderators or something. And, or saying that was middle class.
Senator,
somebody making $120,000
there are plenty of Americans
a year.
who are struggling. There are some that are not making $200,000 a year.
Right.
There are some that have very modest second homes. What do you plan to do for them?
Hey, everybody. Sam Seder here.
Donald Trump is a bad guy. Believe me, it's true.
It is true, and you can subscribe to this channel by subscribing to this channel. It's true.